I'm Adrian,
I'm Dayton.
and this is our mid project presentation. Our project is adding DES encryption and decryption to the MIPS pipeline processor. We will be utilizing memory mapped I/O in order to map to peripherals on the DU2 board and internal registers in memory. The user will select between decryption and encryption on using a switch on the DU2 board. And since the registers are only 32 bits, and DES requires a 64-bit data and 64-bit keys, it'll take 2 store words to get the key in and 2 store words to get the data in. And then if the user wants to get the data out, it'll take 2 load words to get the data out, decrypted or encrypted, depending on what the user wants. And the addresses to the store words and the load words are predefined in order to map to memory.
And then on the screen is our schematic. So we have the processor.
And in the mem stage, the ALU out from the mem stage will go to the address decoder, and it will check if the user is trying to store data into either hex FFFC 840, and then if it's any of those, it will enable one of the registers and store the data into the registers, because that would mean the user is trying to store either half of the data or either half of the key into the DES module. Otherwise, if the user is trying to store word and it's not at any of those addresses, it'll go into data memory. The output of the DES will either be, so the DES will encrypt and decrypt at the same time, and the output will depend on the switch where the user will choose if they want the encrypted data or the decrypted data. And then when the load word addresses are FFFFE8 and FFFE4, and if any of those are sent into the address decoder, the MUX, it'll select the respective halves of the DES outputs, and it'll send back to the processor.
And in order to measure the speed of our new processor, we're going to be using the 47 megahertz from assignment 6 as a baseline. And after we finish our completed DS module and add it to the pipeline, we'll use TimeQuest to figure out what's the minimum clock speed we need for this to work. And that's it.